Hi, welcome to Light Tutelage. In this session, I will discuss how to calculate percent yield in a problem. This is a problem given and it states that for the balanced chemical equation, this is a balanced chemical equation given over here. If 78.3 gram of hydrochloric acid reacts with excess calcium carbonate to produce 68.9 gram of calcium chloride, the question asks to calculate the percent yield. Well, these are the four simple steps we follow to calculate percent yield. Let's begin with first step. It says that write the balanced chemical equation. We have already balanced chemical equation given in the problem. That's why no need to do the first step. Now we cross the first step. Now we move on to the second step. It says that find the limiting reactant. If we go through the problem, it states that 78.3 gram of hydrochloric acid react with excess calcium carbonate. Calcium carbonate is the second reactant which is given in excess. And when the second reactant is in excess, obviously the first reactant will be as a limiting reactant. Here we have HCl is a limiting reactant. Now we are done with second step too. Well, move on to the third step. It says that calculate theoretical yield. Well, let's begin with the mass of the limiting reactant, that is hydrochloric acid, and the mass of limiting reactant is given 78.3 gram. I mention over here 78.3 gram HCl. We convert the mass of hydrochloric acid into moles, and for mass to mole conversion we use molar mass. Well, the molar mass of HCl is 36.46 gram per mole. It means that 1 mole HCl has 36.46 gram HCl. Here I mention 1 mole HCl. Well, sorry, it is Cl, and in the bottom we have 36.46 gram HCl. Now here you can see that we arranged the molar mass in such way so that we could cancel HCl. Now we use the mole ratio to calculate the moles of product calcium chloride. Now the question arises here, why we calculate the moles of calcium chloride and why we calculate the theoretical yield of calcium chloride. This is because in the problem we are given the actual yield of calcium chloride, that is 68.9 gram, and we always calculate the theoretical yield for that product for which the actual yield is given in the problem. That's why we are going to calculate the moles of calcium chloride. Here we use the mole ratio between hydrochloric acid and calcium chloride. In the balanced equation you can see that 2 moles of hydrochloric acid react with 1 mole of calcium chloride. It means that the mole ratio is 2:1, and since we are going to calculate the moles of calcium chloride, we write the mole of calcium chloride at the top. Here I mentioned 1 mole calcium chloride, and in the bottom we have 2 moles hydrochloric acid. Well, here we got the moles of calcium chloride, and we convert the moles of calcium chloride into mass. And for mole to mass conversion, we use the molar mass. The molar mass of calcium chloride is 111. Here I mention 111 gram calcium chloride, and in the bottom we have 1 mole calcium chloride. Here we mention calcium chloride. Gram HCl will cancel, mole HCl will cancel, mole CHCl2 will cancel. Now we can do the calculation. We multiply the top numbers and divide it by the bottom ones. We use the calculators. Well, in the top we have 78.3, and it is multiplied by 111, and this is the value we get, 8,691.3, and in the bottom the number we have 36.46, and it is multiplied by 2, and this is the value we get 72.92. 72.92. This is the value we get. Now we can divide these numbers. Here we have in the top that is 8,691.3, and it is divided by 72.92, and the value, this is the value we get. But we have to pick this value with least significant figures. If we look at the mass of the reactant, that is given with 3 significant figures, and the mass of calcium chloride is also given with 3 significant figures. That's why we pick up this value with 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3 up to 9 we have 3 significant figures. We look at the digit next to 9, that is 1, and 1 is smaller than 5. That's why we round off these figures, and we get 119, and remaining digit become 0. Here we have 119 gram. This is the mass of calcium chloride produced in the reaction, or we can say this is the theoretical yield of calcium chloride. Now we are done with the third step, and we move on to the fourth step, that is to calculate the percent yield. And when we calculate the percent yield, we always divide the actual yield given in the problem by the theoretical yield, which is calculated here by using the balanced chemical equation, and multiplied by 100. Let me write the percentage yield. Here we have percent yield. The actual yield is 68.9, and it is divided by theoretical yield, which we have calculated. It is 119, and we multiplied by 100. Now we use the calculators. We have 68.9 in the top, and it is multiplied by 100, and now it is divided by 119. This is the value we get. But we pick up this value with 3 significant figures. 1, 2, 3 up to 8 we have 3 significant figures. We look at the digit next to 8, that is 9. 9 is greater than 5. That's why we round off 8 to 9. The value which we get, that is 57.9%. 57.9%. This is the percent yield. This is how we calculate the percent yield by using these 4 simple steps. Thank you.